Hello and welcome. Today we would like to share with you some information about the SalesPersonDream Auto Prospecting System Admin Back Office. This back office is available to any Internetnextstep.com MLM software or MLM team support system customers that choose to promote OMSIS or SalesPersonDream as part of their software. SalesPersonDream can be used by anybody in MLM to help them sift and sort through their warm market, or sift and sort through the cold market, or for those of you who wish to build a huge team, do both. SalesPersonDream can also be used by almost any small or medium business to increase their sales and streamline their business. Real estate agents, life insurance salespeople, restaurants, hair salons, dry cleaners, furniture stores, mattress stores, carpet stores, and any other small or medium business can profit from SalesPersonDream. Now, the most important part of the SalesPersonDream admin section is the capture pages system setup section. This is far beyond just a single capture page. This allows you to actually create full SalesPersonDream systems, 4-page sales funnel capture pages, email autoresponders, phone scripts, custom fields, video presentations, survey questions, the whole 9 yards. You can make as many of these systems as you like, then make available for your members to select the one they like the most. You get to choose which one they get by default. So in the MLM world, you may have one version that is product-centric with minimal business side being talked about, or business-centric with little product side being talked about, or as we have learned, the most effective type, which has equal business and product approach combined into one. The fundamental use of the system is that you give them a template that you want them to be using, and it is a complete usable system, tweaked with all the emails, phone scripts, graphics, survey questions, and video presentation all set up. This way, they just buy the system and start using it. They do not have to customize a thing. Let's jump into a template to show you how it works. Interestingly enough, by going into a template, you're accessing the system in exactly the same way a member would and making your changes exactly how they would. So once you've learned as an administrator to make and edit a template for admin, you're fully up to speed on the system in order to teach and train your members how to do the same. Right now, we're looking at Lion. By clicking on Lion, we're transported into the template as if we were a member. And we're going to show you first how to change the 4 pages of the sales funnel in the configuration, website setup, edit site. So we go configuration, website setup, edit site. And we're now looking at the very first or the introduction page of the 4-page sales funnel. So you could edit this. You put a link at the bottom to go to the next page. And the next page would be the presentation page. Then you could edit the edit details page and the thank you page. Now, if you are going to get into mobile, you can actually also add your content into the mobile section. So if you put mobile code here, jQuery mobile, HTML5 mobile code here, the system's smart enough to see that if they come on a mobile device, serve them the mobile stuff versus coming on a regular device, serving them the non-mobile stuff. So you can make it mobile if you want, or not if you don't want to. Now, one of the main differences between the SalesPersonDream system and a lot of the prospecting systems on the market is that the SalesPersonDream system is actually completely editable by the members. So even though they don't have to customize anything, they can customize absolutely everything in the system if they wish to, going off your template and inserting their own ideas. The big benefit here is that they can trip across something that increases enrollments dramatically that you have never thought of. The downside is that they could say things that get you in trouble. Maybe saying that your product cures cancer, a big no-no to make claims in any kind of a prospecting situation. But don't worry, we have you covered. The compliance engine ensures that any words that you do not want used in a website or an email within the system will be refused if they try to update with a banned word being used. So if we go back to the admin section, we can actually take a look at the compliance list to see that the word right now, cancer, is on the compliance list. So then we could take a look to see if anybody's actually done the wrong thing. We pop down here and we look at the compliance report, and we can see that username LinkedIn has 1 invalid word. So we can take a look to see just what he's up to, and it turns out that he got a hit on cancer. So then we can go one step further to say, hey, what did he do? Because we can actually see that he's still non-compliant. If he's actually fixed it, we're going to actually be able to see what it said before and what it says now, and you can see that the area of problem is highlighted. So you can immediately check to see if someone's fixing it in a nasty way. So here we can see that they fixed it with C.ANCER. That's allowed them to get past the filter, but you just caught them. So of course now you'd go back and you'd add C.ANCER, you'd add CA.NCER, all to your compliance list, and all different versions. Every time you learn of someone trying to get around your filter, you would continue to grow the non-compliant list, and you'd continue to have your system bolted down tighter and tighter for people not to be able to abuse your system and say things that could get you in trouble with the regulators. That's a really great way to give you peace of mind and keep very efficient at knowing when people are trying to do stuff. Even if they do fix it appropriately, they're still on the list so that you can double check really easily to make sure that their fix has been done in a way that you agree with. So if we go back into the system, it really is just like a member system. So if you did want to actually go in and change the email series, you'd go into Series Edit. There's all your series. You could get into the series and edit it. To learn more about this, you're best to take a look at the video that we wrote from a member's perspective, where we walk through this kind of stuff and explain the things that are going on here. This video's purpose is more to go from an admin point of view and show you the kind of higher level control you have as the owners of Internetnextstep.com MLM software, and how you can utilize the auto prospecting system to really, really, really expand your company. So back in here, we come back. We've now looked at the capture page systems. We'll go back there and look at that for just a second. There's a bit more functionality here we didn't talk to about before. You can actually have all these different systems set up for your members to choose from, and you can pick the one that's the default. So when the member does actually buy the system, he gets this one by default. Then he can actually look at his own list to see which ones you've made available for use, and he can select from any of those to use. Now down here, you'll take a look. There's an update only and update and corporate push. So if you've updated any templates, you just click the update to save them. But you can also do an update and corporate push, which is actually going to update all of the templates and then push it out to all the members who actually wanted your updates. So every time you make an update to the base system, you can actually push it out so that every member gets your system updated. A member can decide to go off on their own and turn off corporate pushes, in which case they wouldn't get your updates, they'd be on their own. So this is the engine that makes all of that possible and administering all your templates possible. You can also go in just like the INS main MLM software, and you can search for members to learn a little bit about them, to go into their system, to see what they see through this search engine. So if we actually went to go look at old LinkedIn, we could actually bring him up in the search and then actually take a look at him from an OMSIS or salesperson's dream perspective. So here's the general statistics about him. We know a little bit of information about him. We can then go into his actual members system, which will take us right into the ability to set him up. We can also message him through this interface. And we can also take a look at his message archive. And his message archive just shows all the stuff that's gone back and forth related to this member. We can actually go in and take a look at the ad co-op. Now, the ad co-op is a huge part of the OMSIS Salesperson's Dream Auto Prospecting System. This is where you can actually have your members contribute to you $25 a month through their auto ship in the main MLM software, which all gets amalgamated over here for you to place ads with. And then you can track all your ad inputs. So here we're looking at all the different ad inputs, what they all mean. You'd advertise these URLs. It'll put them into the sales funnel, track how many signed up from which lead source, show you everything that's going on. So you can very quickly assess if a lead source is good or bad, and whether it just got you a lot of traffic to the front page but didn't result in signups. So the ad co-op allows you to generate way more leads per dollar for your members than they could ever generate on their own, because of course the bigger the ads you can purchase and the better the publications you can get into, the more leads per dollar are generated. Lead generation isn't linear. A lot of people think if you spend $50 and get one lead, you spend $500 and you get 10 leads. The truth is, if you spent $50 and got one really good lead, if you spent $500, you'd probably get 15 leads. And if you spent $5,000, you wouldn't get 1,500 leads, you'd probably get 3,000 leads. A group of distributors once put an ad into Oprah Winfrey's magazine. Now, back when they did this, it only cost $65,000 for a one-time, one-page ad in O magazine, but they generated 243,000 super high-quality leads. So they had just gone and got $1,000 each off of 65 leaders to place the ad. And in the end, there was so much traffic, most of it went in the garbage. They were so overwhelmed at what was generated by being in that publication. So ad co-ops allow you to get up to those sizes to where you're placing ads in publications that have really, really huge circulation, which increases the leads per dollar you can generate for your members. So it's just all around more efficient. Now, if we scroll down, we can actually take a look at all of the people in the ad co-op, and we can see how many shares they have in the ad co-op, when they expire, and how many pieces of traffic you've delivered to them so far. So as you go down through the list, you can see that we've delivered 2 pieces to a bunch of people, 1 to some, which means the next guy on the list is the next guy to get a piece of traffic, which happens to be this particular user's name, Google. This is where your ad co-op is administered, as far as, you can add free shares in for people here, you can change dates. You shouldn't. You should let all the system do that automatically, but you do have control of the ad co-op from this page. Now, if we take a look again in the reporting, we can actually go take a look at the Ad Money Manager. So here we have the actual auto prospecting website money manager. This is where you can actually see all the users you have, how much money they've paid into the ad co-op. You can actually go and take a look at the details of who paid in and how much they paid in, and just generally keep control of your money. Now, the interesting thing here is you can actually then go and say newspaper ad, and you can say what URL you actually spent it on and the amount you spent. Let's say you spent $250. So we put in newspaper, we pick the URL that we've gone, the amount, and then you can see actually that the amount of your ad co-op is reduced by that $250. And you can actually see what the balance of your ad co-op is that you still have available to make spends. So everything's tracked. It keeps your ad co-op nice and easy. The ad co-op money comes into the ad co-op through auto ship in your main MLM software kernel, and then you add your ad spends in as you spend them here to always know where you're at as to how much money you have left in your ad co-op to place to make sure your members are getting maximum traffic. So from there, we'll take a look at the last couple of features here. We've got the email all. So this is much like the same email all when you're in the main MLM software. And you can email all of the people that are in OMSIS or Salesperson's Dream directly. So you're not now emailing to the whole segment of your members. You're emailing just to the people who have actual Salesperson's Dream subscriptions. All right, and then one of the last things that we really have to just look about, we won't get into details on it, but you do actually have the ability to change the OMSIS or Salesperson's Dream entire system into other languages through the translation interface, much like you can with the MLM software itself. Okay, so the very last thing we want to show you is actually a really powerful little section, which is actually your auto prospecting site statistics. So we can actually come in here, and because this is a test system without a whole lot of data, we can take a look at all of the people who have had traffic to their system. So here's all the current users in the system, and we can actually see all of them, how many people have made it to the introduction page, how many through to the presentation page, how many through to the enter details page, and how many through to the thank you page, as well as the same for the actual mobile pages. So in this case, we can actually derive a whole lot from this data. Like on Let Me Floor You, we can see that more people are getting to the enter details page than were on the introduction page, which means they're using the form filled in directly as a capture page instead of putting them through the first 2 pages. Other sites we can see you've got cash rewards, 179 to the introduction, 50 to the presentation, 45 through to the enter details, and 4 through to the thank you. So this means that they've actually got 4 good solid leads out of 179 pieces of traffic. Normal rule of thumb is if you get 25% of the people that come to the introduction page to go to the presentation page, and 25% of them to the enter details page, and 25% actually fill in and become leads, you're right on track. You're probably producing really, really good leads for your members. It's fairly common for this type of a situation. Here's Adam. He's generated 1,869 leads to the front page. Only 621 got through to the next. That's okay. Only 12 went further, which means he lost everybody at the presentation page, and only 1 actually became a lead. This says to me that his traffic quality or his ad is misleading. We can see that this guy's doing something that you don't want to be doing, and is probably quite disappointed in the system, thinking that it's the system's fault. So here's a nice one. 200 to the front, 42 to the next, 12 to that, and 3 to that. This is actually perfect metrics. I would go take a look at this guy, and chances are this guy's using the standard company setup and hasn't made a bunch of changes. This guy's probably made a bunch of changes to make it easier to get through the system, or something he's done has caused him to fall off of the proven methods. And then you can also see that when you do get into ad co-op leads, One user shows all the different ad co-op inputs, so you can actually track through which of your ads is doing better for you as a company. So this page, as simple as it looks, is extremely powerful to help you tweak your system. And that pretty much concludes our tour of the admin back office for Salesperson's Dream in OMSYS. We thank you for taking the time to take a look.